Dear students, welcome to today's lecture. We will verify Kirchhoff's voltage law today. Let's begin our lecture with the definition of Kirchhoff's voltage law. KVL states that in any closed loop network, the total voltage around the loop is equal to the sum of all the voltage drops within the same loop. It means that whether the voltages are positive or negative within a loop, if we add them up, the total sum will be equal to 0. Now, the voltage in a circuit can either be taken in positive or negative mode. If we have to take it as a negative voltage, then we have to go from positive terminal of the battery to the negative terminal of the battery. If we want to take the voltage to be positive, then we have to move from negative to positive terminal of the batteries. Considering this circuit, if we move from positive terminal to that of negative terminal, that is in anti-clockwise direction, then the current will be negative. If we move from negative to that of positive terminal, then the resultant current will be positive. The KVL of this circuit can be written as Vs is equal to V1 plus V2, that is, the total voltage is equal to the sum of voltages within the loop. This can also be written as Vs minus V1 minus V2 is equal to 0, which can further be written in the form of currents as Vs plus minus IR1 plus minus IR2 is equal to 0. Here we have taken the current in negative. So this can be further written as Vs is equal to IR1 plus IR2, which can be written as Vs is equal to I into R1 plus R2. We took I as common and R1 plus R2 can be written as RT, because this is series circuit and R1 plus R2 becomes its equivalent resistance. So Vs is equal to IRT. As I already mentioned, RT is the equivalent resistance and it can be written as R1 plus R2. I can be found out through Ohm's law, which is I is equal to Vs divided by RT, Vs divided by R1 plus R2 for this circuit. We can find voltage across R1 either through direct formula, that is IR1. We already know I and R1, so we multiply I and R1 to get VR1, or we can apply voltage divider rule here, Vs multiplied by R divided by R1 plus R2. Similarly, we can find R2 either directly multiplying total current and R2, or we multiply Vs with R2 divided by R1 plus R2 as depicted by voltage divider rule. Let's move to our example number 1. Consider the circuit having 3 resistors connected in series. We have 5 volts as our supply voltage and we have 4 points here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We take the direction of the current in clockwise. So the loop of the equation is as we have the direction of the current in clockwise direction. So we have R equivalent is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. R equivalent will be equal to 4.8 kilo ohms. Now we will calculate the current through the loop. We can easily calculate our current through Ohm's law. So we have Vs divided by R equivalent, 5 volts divided by 4.8 kilo ohms. We have 1.04 milliampere as our input current. Here we have 3 resistors in series, so the current will remain same. We can calculate the individual voltage drop across each resistor and verify KVL. So V1 will be equal to minus IR1. So we have minus 1.04 milliampere multiplied by 1 kilo ohm. So we have minus 1.04 volts as voltage drop at R1. We calculate V2 or VR2. So we have minus 1.04 milliampere multiplied by 2.8 kilo ohms. So we have voltage drop at R2 as minus 2.91 volts. So we have V3 or voltage drop across R3 as minus 1.04 milliampere multiplied by 1 kilo ohm. It's exactly same as that we got for our R1 because value of R1 and R3 are equal. Now we will verify KVL equation, that is Vs is equal to VR1 plus VR2 plus VR3 or Vs minus IR1 minus IR2 minus IR3 is equal to 0. We put its values. We have Vs is equal to 5 volts. So 5 minus 1.04 volt minus 2.91 volt minus 1.04 volts. So we get the answer equal to 0. Let's move to our example number 2. Consider the given circuit having 4 resistors connected in complex combination. The circuit has 2 loops. Loop 1 is here and loop 2 is here. For both loops, the direction of current is taken in clockwise direction. There are 3 currents passing through the circuit, that is I1, I2 and I3. First of all, we need to find out the equation of loop 1. For that, we have our currents. So here I1 is equal to I2 plus I3 because I1 is dividing into 2 paths, I2 and I3. So we have I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. Therefore, our loop equation will be Vs plus minus V12 plus minus V24. Here we have V12 and here we have V24. So we write it in terms of current. So we have 5 volts minus I1 multiplied by 1 kilo ohm minus I2 multiplied by 2.8 kilo ohms. So we have I1 plus 2.8 I2 is equal to 5 volts. The equation for loop 2 will be as follows: minus V42. Now we go from this point to this. So we have minus V42 plus V23 plus V34. It can be written as I2 multiplied by 2.8 kilo ohms plus I3 multiplied by 2.8 kilo ohm plus I3 multiplied by 1 kilo ohms. So it will be written as 2.8 I2 minus 2.8 I3 minus I3 is equal to 0. So we get our final equation as 2.8 I2 is equal to 3.8 I3. Here we can find our I2 as I2 is equal to 3.8 divided by 2.8 I3. So it will be equal to 1.35 I3. Now we can put the value of I2 and I1 in the equation of loop 1. So we will get I1 plus 2.8 I2 is equal to 5 volts. Here in place of I1 we place I2 plus I3 and 2.8 I3. So we will have I2 plus 3.8 I3 is equal to 5 volts. In place of I2 we place 1.35 I3. So we have 1.35 I3 plus 3.8 I3 is equal to 5 volts. We get 5.15 I3 is equal to 5. So the value of I3 is 0.812 milliampere. Similarly, we can get the value of I2 as I2 is equal to 1.35 multiplied by 0.812 milliampere, because I2 was equal to 1.35 I3. So the value of I2 is 1.096 milliampere. I1 will be equal to I2 plus I3. So we get its value as 1.908 milliamperes. Now we will calculate the respective voltages at each point. First we have Y12. So we have minus 1.908 milliampere multiplied by 1 kilo ohm, because through R1 we have I1 current passing through it. The voltage drop will be equal to 1.908 volt. The voltage drop across second resistor will be equal to minus 1.096 milliampere multiplied by 2.8 kilo ohm equal to 3.068 volt. The voltage drop across R3 will be minus 0.812 milliampere multiplied by 2.8 kilo ohms. It will be 2.27 volts. Similarly, the voltage drop across last resistor will be 0.812 milliampere multiplied by 1 kilo ohm. So it will be equal to 0.812 volts. Now we will verify respective loops equation. So for loop 1, we will have 5 volts minus 1.90 volt minus 3.068 volts. So it is exactly equal to 0. Hence KVL is proved. Similarly, for equation 2, we have minus 3.068 volt, because we have taken the voltage from 4 to second point. So minus 3.608 volt plus 2.27 volt plus 0.812 volts. This is also equal to 0. Hence KVL is proved for both loops and for the circuit as well. Now let's move to our simulation. We will log on to our falstat.com/circuit and do the respective simulations for both circuits. See you in Falstat simulator. Here we are at our Falstat simulator. First of all, we will clear the screen. So we will check on blank circuit. Now we will go to draw, add 3 resistors in series. We have 3 resistors in series. Now we will change the values. Our first resistor was of 1 kilo ohm. Second resistor was of 2.8 kilo ohms. And third resistor was also of 1 kilo ohm. We will now connect our resistors with the help of wire. Here we have connected our resistor. We will make our circuit long so that we are in easy mode to verify the KVL. Now we will put our voltage source and change the voltage to 5 volts. It's already 5 volt, so we don't change it. We will put our ground so that the circuit is complete. Now this circuit is complete. There are 2 ways to verify the Kirchhoff's voltage law. First is that we check on each component and notice its voltage drop and then add up together. Like we have R equivalent of 4.8 kilo ohm here and 1.042 milliampere of current here. And we have source voltage is 5 volts. So we first go here, check that what is voltage drop here. We have 1.042 voltage drop here. Then we go here. Here we have 2.917 voltage drop. And at the last resistor we have 1.042. Now we will add them up. We will get our respective sum of voltages. So in this way we will verify that 5 volt is equal to the sum of voltages drop that are occurring across all the 3 resistors. There is another way for verifying KVL, and that is placing voltmeter across each resistor. So now for that we will go to draw, output and labels, and check on the voltmeter. We will place 3 voltmeter above all the 3 resistors. Now we will connect the voltmeter with the help of wires to the terminals of resistor. You see, for the first resistor we have voltage drop of 1.042 volts. Similarly, for second resistor we will have voltage drop of 2.917 volts, and for third resistor we have voltage drop of 1.042 volts. It is evident that if we sum up the 3 voltages or the 3 voltage drop, it will be equal to the source voltage, that is 5 volts. Now let's proceed to our second circuit. For that we will clear the screen again. In that we will go to draw and select resistor. We will place 4 resistor here in the combination that we had at our circuit. Our first resistor was of 1 kilo ohm. Second resistor was of 2.8 kilo ohm. Third resistor was of 2.8 kilo ohm as well. And fourth resistor was of 1 kilo ohm. The first step was to connect all the resistors. So we connect all the resistors through wires. This is how we connected. We will place our voltage source here, but the first step was calculating the R equivalent of the circuit. We skip that step because you already know how to calculate it. You will just place in ohm meter here, and then you will know the equivalent resistance of this circuit. I will just go to draw and add our voltage source here. Our voltage source was of 5 volts, so it is already of 5 volt here, so we don't change it. Now I'll just place a ground for completing the circuit. Now our circuit is complete. Now what I will do is to click here. So here I have 2.612 as my R equivalent, 1.914 milliampere as my current, and voltage as 5 volts. So during our calculation we had some current drop here that was exactly the same as shown here, 1.914 milliampere. Through this resistor we had current of 1.102 milliampere, while its voltage drop was 3.086 volts. Here the voltage drop was 1.914 volts and its current was 1.914 milliampere. The current here was 0.0812 milliampere. Here the current is given in microampere, so multiply this with 1000, you will get value in milliampere. So that will be 0.812 milliampere. The voltage drop here is 2.274 volt, and here the current will remain same, that is 0.812 milliampere, while its voltage drop will be 0.812 volts. Here it is given in millivolt, so multiply it by 1000. There is another way to verify KVL here too. So for that we can add ammeters and voltage meter or voltmeter. So first we add our voltmeters across every resistor for finding out the voltage. So we go to output in labels and we select our voltmeter. So for 4 resistor we will put 4 voltmeter. We will connect the voltmeter through wires. So we get our first voltage is 1.914 volt. After that we connect our second voltmeter. Here we get our voltage as 3.086 volt. Then we connect our third voltmeter. Here we get our voltage as 2.274 volts. For the fourth voltmeter we will connect here and here as well. So we get our voltage as 0.812 volts. Now we will add up our ammeters at 3 points. First point will be here, second will be here, and third point will be there. We first delete this node. We'll go to draw, outputs and labels, and we will place ammeter here. We get our current as 1.914 milliampere. We will delete this and try to add another ammeter here. We get our current as 1.102 milliampere here. Now we will delete the third point and add our third ammeter here. Now you can see that all the currents and voltage readings are verified as per calculations, and our KVL is also verified for both the loop 1 and loop 2. So this is how you can verify KVL through simulations. As we are done with simulations now, it's time for your home task. You will verify Kirchhoff's voltage law for the circuit. You will do the necessary calculations as well as you have to do the simulations. So best of luck. This was all about today's lecture. If you have any questions, then you can ask. Either you can email it to me or post it directly here. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.